Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. If you're watching this video, welcome. I wanted to make this video and explain why I went from the Jeep Grand Cherokee to a truck. And not just any truck, the Ford Raptor. And why I did that, pretty much. One of the first things is I needed something that could tow. I've been a big fan and a big promoter of SUVs doing what trucks do and getting the job done in almost 80% of the capacity that any truck can do. Now, the problem is with EPA regulations and things like that, it's very difficult these days to find an SUV that's mid-size that can tow above 5,000 pounds and isn't a three-row behemoth SUV. So for me, if I wanted to keep driving SUVs, there's the Grand Cherokee. They no longer offer that V8, which is okay. Anyway, 6,200 to 7,200 pounds for the Grand Cherokee. You've got the Tahoe, which is next in there. The Defenders, which tow a crazy like 7,000 pounds. Actually, the Defenders might actually be 8,000 pounds. My point being that unless you're getting an Expedition or something big and something that is hard to maintain because it's powerful, there isn't a lot of options when it comes to SUVs that can tow in that 7,000 pound range. With that being said, this only tows 8,000 pounds. So I know that if I wanted a really true amazing towing rig, that the Raptor is not necessarily the best thing for that. Doesn't mean that it's not good at it. It just means it's not the best thing for it. Ford also makes this Power Boost, EcoBoost engine with the hybrid. They call it the Power Boost. And so you can get the XLT trim of the F-150 with a lot of these bells and whistles and be able to tow in the 10,000 plus range. So I know that the Raptor is lacking a little bit there. I wanted heated and cooled seats. I wanted technology. I wanted the trailer backup. I suck at backing up a trailer. I'm decent at it. I won't say that I suck. It just takes me a little bit longer than some people who do this daily. I've towed a lot with my Grand Cherokee. I've towed a lot with many different vehicles. I've moved myself from Midwest to Florida, all over the place with different trailers and things. So it's not that I'm unfamiliar and I'm not great at it. These do it better. Trucks will 1,000% beat an SUV in the towing battle for comfort and security and confidence almost any day of the week. And if you're somebody who's towed with an SUV and then towed with a truck, you know what I'm saying. Argue if you want. I'm just telling you it is what it is. But for the most people who have a small camper, an SUV does it just fine. And if you go to Europe, that's usually what they tow with is SUVs. These things in Europe, not a thing. I also wanted a lot of space, just like the Grand Cherokee offered. So when you open up these doors, they're wide, they're massive. You have enough space for every size adult that you could think of. Unless you're on 600-pound life or 500-pound life, then probably not. But still, close. Yeah, lots of space back there. A little bit of luxury. I'd say actually medium level of luxury. And a good amount of power, tech, fun, sportiness. I loved the Grand Cherokee's V6. Even though it wasn't the fastest thing, it was very torquey, it was punchy. That 300 horsepower felt good in it. Would I have wanted a Trackhawk with the extra power? Absolutely, that's still on the list, and it may happen. After this, I'm probably gonna go back to the SUV world unless I absolutely fall in love with owning a truck. So far, it's been nice. Parking I'm getting used to, traffic I'm getting used to, but I do have to drive a little bit different in the truck when it comes to Tampa traffic. It's just what it is. The next thing, suspension. I've lived with air suspension on the Grand Cherokee for so long, and I loved it. It is one of the things that I talk to everyone about. I said, if you can get air suspension, don't let people scare you about it. It does break. Mine never did. It made it to 140,000 miles on the stock suspension. Ooh, Abusa. It made it to 145,000 miles on the stock suspension, but this rides absolutely well. Ooh, I've got a rock. It rides absolutely well. Tires are brand new. They're from April of 2025. Normally, I wouldn't want to be the one to have to replace these tires. I'm just saying that much. These are pricey tires. But anyways, the Grand Cherokee rode well. This rides even better on non-air suspension and just regular shocks and struts and springs and all that stuff, which is hard to do. There's a lot of SUVs out there, and not all of them ride well. Insert the 4Runner. I think the 4Runner is nice for what it is, but I don't think 4Runners drive all that nice. I think Toyota's suspension is very basic. These Fox shocks are amazing. But yeah, And then we move on to the bed. As much as I love having an SUV, it doesn't have this. This is convenient because if I want to throw a motorcycle in there, I can without needing the trailer. And with the bed down, I could probably fit a little bit of a bigger ATV in there. But look at that. That's a good amount of space. And that's where, again, people will say, if you wanted bed space, well, why not get a normal truck or get a single cab? You know, there's a lot of different arguments on that. I could have gone with the super cab and then just got a 8-foot bed. I mean, there's a lot of different configurations on trucks. I could have probably got a Ford Ranger and been just fine with that bed, considering they're basically the same size, if not the same size. Tacoma, same thing. Could have gone Ranger Raptor if I wanted to, but I didn't want that. LJ is different. I'm a sports car guy, so I need to figure out if this is the sports car truck. Granted, the TRX is probably holding that title. I'm not trying to make anyone mad or ruffle any feathers, but I think that's really the true sports car truck. Raptor R, I'll entertain a little bit of that. But Coyote F-150, single cab, 8-foot bed, supercharger, the true Lightning, could have done that. And that would have sounded better, probably driven just as great, and would have been maybe more fun because of the exhaust. I don't know. But that's the stuff that I really wanted when it came to the Raptor, and that's why I ultimately chose this over the Grand Cherokee, or getting another Grand Cherokee. To be honest with everyone, I love that Grand Cherokee so much. It was probably one of my favorite, actually, it was my favorite SUV, only beat by the Land Rover Defender, number 2, and then the BMW X5, the number 1 of my favorite SUVs. So, if that doesn't tell you anything, but that was just the WK2. The new generation of the Grand Cherokee, it falls flat. It's missing something. So, that is how I ended up choosing the F-150 Raptor. This is LJ's first Ford, and I'm excited about it. I got to figure out how I'm going to really justify this truck for very long. That's going to be the real thing. Does anybody need this truck? Do I need this truck? What am I going to do with this behemoth? How am I going to afford this? Who's paying this gas bill? All right. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a happy holidays. Like, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.